It's a beautiful Sunday evening. So here we are with the third episode of Tilda Talks. Tilda Talks is a tech video podcast series happening every Sunday by the techies for the techies, in which we'll be inviting a techie and we'll discuss a new or tech topic in each episode. The discussion is structured to be tech focused, but in a storytelling conversational fashion. And this show is sponsored by Tilda Hat and myself Pranav, the tech host for this show. In this episode, we'll be discussing computer networks, in which you can get the answers for what is it, what certifications needs to be taken, how should anyone start learning, what are all the career opportunities in this domain, and a lot more. As usual, we have received over hundreds of questions for the speaker from the registration form. Considering the time constraint, our team took most informative, interesting, and useful questions. Tried our best to merge them to make the show very informative for all our attendees. And as mentioned during the registrations, we'll be giving a cash prize of 250 rupees voucher for the best two questions that we have got. Stay tuned till the end to know the winners. And if you have any questions for us with respect to computer networks, you can come and below. We'll take up your question to answer or to answer all your questions and give a lot of information on computer networks. We have our guest, Ms. Archana, the global strategy leader in CISCO. Hi Archana, welcome to our show. You can introduce yourself for all our viewers.
That's great, Pranav. Thanks, Pranav. So, good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be part of Tilde Talks. As Pranav mentioned, I'm Archana and working with CISCO for past few years. I've been a part of different service management organizations before joining CISCO. I'm like Accenture, Vodafone, just few companies to mention. I'm a BE graduate in chemical engineering and decided to continue working on networking technologies once I finished my college. This is a very short form of introduction about myself.
So, chemical engineering and computer networks. So, how do this happen?
Pranav, you're sounding like somebody who is doing an interview because I get this question every time I appeared for an interview. Okay, I don't mind explaining this again. So what happened is chemical engineering. I finished it and I was about to go for the campus recruitments and everything. And my dad said, no, you're not going for it because the companies which are coming to place you are in some remote areas, and I'm not ready to send you. Okay, then I gave it. I thought, okay, then my option is towards the IT field. Bangalore definitely is not in a remote area. Bangalore is a city. So I just zeroed down, okay, this is the place where I'm going. Then I came across, okay, IT, what can I learn about it? If you go with chemical engineering, you just learn only one subject in IT, that is C++. And to be frank, I was not good at it, okay, the programming side. So I was searching for a few other options. One thing which came up to my, which caught my interest was this networking, where, it just started like, okay, you're connecting everything. You need this network for everything. Anything which is going to happen, you need a network. Any communication going to happen, you need a network. I thought, okay, let me try this. If not programming, let me try this. So that is how I ended up in networking.
Okay, that was really a great story. Yeah. So,
thank you for that. Yeah, this is how I know that so many people like me over there end up in that.
Okay. So, let's start with the basics of networks. So, if I call a person from here to US, like I live in Coimbatore, so if I call a person from here to Coimbatore, so how will that communication happen?
You're asking about the communication between two devices?
Yeah, two devices, be it mobile phones, be it laptops. Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I do not want to get into the complete technicality of it, but considering whoever has joined here will be knowing a little bit about the networking part, let me answer this in a very simple way. From the time you put in, let's say you open the browser, or any app, that is an interface for you, right? Where you put in your details. From the time until the data goes through the wire, reaches physically through the wire and reaches the other end, it actually has to go through 7 layers, and those are called as OSI layers. And whoever is going to study CCNA has, this is the first thing which they have to study: which layer is for what, where is it that you put in the details, where is it get converted to different packets, where is it the other one, where is it where you get the IP addresses, where is it just physically moving through it. So all these things, in both the ends it will happen, from the device you put in and the device you reach, that this continues. So these are the 7 layers, and that is how it happens actually. If I could answer, if you want more details, I would say that please go and study CCNA.
Yeah, because everybody does the communication part, but unfortunately, this is the basic information that everybody needs to know. So at least that attendees could know basic. So that's the reason I asked you this question. So you work for
No
CISCO,
worries. Yeah. Right.
and so if I have to, uh, so yeah, considering a home network, if I have to do a connection for my laptops and my mobile devices, whichever I have in my house, I'll be going with the Cisco products. And even the tech giants like AWS is considering Cisco products for the security reasons. Security reasons, they have add-ons. So, what is so special about Cisco's security services? Being a security uh, leader, you can. I think you are the right person to ask these questions.
Um, okay, so I think I will have to change that question a little bit, because along with Cisco, there are so many other companies which are in this field of security. So, and there are so many other pioneers which are in this field of security. Cisco is having security products, and they are developing it as well as and when it goes. So, what makes Cisco? Okay, let me tell you. If you ask any engineer right now, okay, where do they want, whoever is a networking engineer, where do they want to be? Because I get a question, because Cisco is the pioneer in networking, and they started and when they started it, and their main business was hardwares. Now they started moving on to the software side of it, software as a service and everything. But their main business was, what Cisco did was making the networking hardware, software, and the services. So when they started it, I don't think anybody was there in the market like how they started it. And if you go and search the network, actually the network in fact in the whole world, I can see easily, I may be wrong in quoting this number, but I can definitely say that you will come across at least 70 to 80% of only Cisco devices. That is because they knew each and every minute things on how this networking does. And security side, as I said, there are other pioneers. I mean, there are other front runners in this field on the security side of it. Cisco has got so many security products, but they are still in the run of making it better.
Okay. So, how does Cisco wanted to be in the part of digitized evolution, or how does Cisco plan to be in the part of digitized evolution?
Digitized evolution. Okay. Let me ask you, what is the first thing which come across to your mind, Pranav, when you talk about the digitized evolution? Or what are you doing which is on the digital side now, which has moved from anything, which has moved from something which is on the papers or anything to the digits? What is it? Give me an example.
Right from newspaper, like as you say, right from the newspaper, everything is trying to be digitized. Like ordering food, booking the bus tickets, everything has been trying to digitize, and it's happening in a click or two. So, so
Yeah.
that so
Okay.
that is what
How is it happening in a click or two? That is because somebody is connecting to something, isn't it?
is somebody is connecting to something.
If your if your app is just on your phone, it has got nothing to connect it to the server. How will it work?
Okay,
It
yeah.
doesn't. You need a
Yes.
connectivity. Without
you
connectivity, it is nothing. It is like you're just sitting with your laptop
okay.
and
So
play
yeah.
the games which are installed in it. That's it.
So you
I think
just
you answered the question.
no, you just made a point that was very insightful. Yeah, really wonderful. Your experiences really shows that. So
Thank you.
so that
Hmm.
there is the 5G is yet to roll out. So will it be more
Mhm.
customer focused or the business focused? What do you think about that?
It's a wonderful question. Okay, it's a wonderful question. Okay, let me answer that in a different way. So so when you talk about the sources, okay, from 1900 to 1960, that age was called the age of manufacturing. That is Ford, G, Boeing, Sony all came into picture. From 1960 to 1990, it was called the age of distribution because Walmart, CSX, all these were booming at that time. From 1960 to 2010, it was the age of information. That is like Cisco, Google, MS, everything was there. From 2010, what is that age?
I think as we,
Just give a wild guess.
uh,
Wild guess.
no, so till PayPal, so the PayPal came after. No, PayPal also came in the 90s. Yeah, I'm not sure because I was born in 1996 and
Okay, okay. This age from 2010, we call it age of customer. And you know why is it called the age of customer? Things like Amazon, Flipkart, so many things which came up. It is customer centric. Their main motto is to keep the customer happy or customer experience. Okay, why did I say that? When you talk about 5G and 5G, when you are applying it for the mobiles or anything, it completely concentrates on the customer, right? But if any enterprise is using the 5G, even at the end, what are they looking at? They will be looking at the customer. So it depends on who is going to use it. If service provider is going for it, obviously it is the end customers. But if some Cisco products are launching it, we are not directly selling it to the customers because none of the Cisco products are directly sold to the customers. It will be sold through few companies who will be running few things on that. So that will be based on, but at the end of the day, this is the age of customer. You cannot even ask that question. It will be based on the customer or enterprise. Yeah.
wonderful. So SD-WAN is a recent release that is made by the Cisco, right? So what can businesses leverage by using SD-WAN?
Okay. I mean, reason in the sense it's been some time actually. So if you go, I'm not sure how many people know what exactly is SD-WAN. Cisco SD-WAN, if you say, it's a software defined WAN, right? It's a cloud first architecture that separates where the data flows and how you control it, right? And how you control it, you're controlling it through a console rather than you're having different data centers where it is running. Now what they're doing it, you can easily establish an SD-WAN over whatever is existing over there. It could be any medium. It could be your data centers, it your branches or campuses or anything through a console. You're just utilizing the existing one. And I think as in when world is going forward, they're always looking out for something which is software defined. So you can see more and more of SD-WANs which will be coming up. And again, we just do not want, when it is in the Cisco, we do not want to talk only about Cisco, right? So not only Cisco, there are so many other companies which are having this SD-WAN projects with them. I mean, SD-WAN products with them. And I think in future, yeah, that will be whoever is using it. Yes, they have been in the front line in networking, but more and more companies will be going through it because you are just configuring everything through the console. And this I told on a layman's language because if I have to get into more details about it, I can get into that. But you should understand, as I said, you are doing it just through a console. It's a software defined WAN.
So yes, AI and ML are going to define everything. That is what the biggest companies say. So,
100%. Yeah.
so what would be the role of AI and ML with respect to networks in general?
So actually, like any other companies, it is not just about the network. Like any other companies, even we are going towards that. Even when you go through even the Internet of Things, IoT, which needs your network, right? When you're talking about Internet of Things, it is about how you utilize the internet to manage or control or use it, right? Like you can switch on the fan from the mobile even if you are traveling somewhere and such kind of things. So AI and ML nowadays, the automation itself is running very important role in any of the companies, and networking is not spared from that. So all the companies, including Cisco, if you go and check their vision for the next year or whatever is who are you're talking to in Cisco, there'll be like first line which they will be mentioning about the automation side, because we need automation in this. We do not want to do the same manual work again and again. So we need that going forward in all our companies, irrespective of it is networking. But as I know that I'm working in Cisco, we actually reward people if they come up with ideas on this automation side of things.
So I wish I could be part of that particular thing where I could give ideas for that. So,
Definitely. I mean, ideas are always welcome.
why should we use network segmentation to manage a large network? You have experience in managing a large network working in system. So why should we use uh, network segmentation?
Um, okay, it is like, asking me how, okay, if you have a huge task, let's say that you have a very huge task with you, how will you implement it?
I'll break into
You will,
pieces. The first thing that
yeah,
I use, break into pieces. Yeah. So
right.
yeah, okay.
Exactly. It depends on how large is the network, and you want to work on that. The first thing which you'll be thinking about is into how you have to segment it into different networks, and then work on it. Right? Then you connect everything together.
Okay. So, considering
Yeah.
this pandemic situation, many businesses have been uh, going in the downfall. Like, I'm not saying in the downfall, but yeah, a little bit of struggles. But
Yeah, I
considering,
agree. The economy is hit very badly. Yeah.
considering the networks, the number of people who are using the computer networks has been increasing drastically. The data's, including big giants like Amazon Prime or Netflix, uh,
Hmm.
personally use HD services because of their networks bandwidth. So, uh, what in future also we will be facing this will be seen in this 5G. So, how prepared is the Cisco in terms of those networks? How prepared are we? We
Okay. So right. So let me give you an example of what happened within my team itself. Art actually the team supports different customers, their networks and everything. So what happened is, we'll be sitting in a knock kind of an environment, that is a network operation center, and who we are supporting also have got their networks spread across the globe, right? Cisco will be supporting such huge clients, so they decided to work from home, isn't it? So they decided to work from home and suddenly said that, you know what, we are moving 50% of our users to, so 50% of our employees to work from home, and you have to start supporting us. Actually, that is when we thought about, okay, not just them, when we have to start working from home, there are so many people who will have to work from home. So the number of requests which are coming up to set up things, it increased huge. Actually, it went, actually I can say that 90 percentage. And but it what it did, it opened another opportunity. rather than doing things by your own, by manually doing it. Why don't you automate it? So that is where again I'm saying that, Cisco also started moving towards that. This person is working, one person they know that is working remotely, that will be the same configuration which another person is if it is the same customer, right? Isn't it? They're not going to change. So it is, they started thinking about the automation part. So instead of doing it manually, they automated a lot of work, which has actually helped Cisco to be on that path. That is on the service side of things. But then, if you see even Prime Minister when he was holding a meeting with other ministers, he was using Cisco WebEx.
Oh,
So this is Cisco product. Yeah, it came, and I think the SARC meeting which happened, it was there that they were using this. It happened through the Cisco WebEx. So those are the places Cisco has, pulled up the socks to say that okay, this is where it is an opportunity, even though it is a pandemic situation. This is where product or a company like Cisco can give its best, where everybody has to be connected from anywhere rather than everywhere, anywhere, I should say that. So they have pulled up the socks in the market.
so how the firewall? This is a question from one of our viewers. So, how firewall layers works and how secure it is for the host?
Okay. But firewall layers.
Yeah, how firewall layers works. Yeah, this was the question.
Okay, so okay, let me tell you one thing. Maybe there are, different types of layers on the technology part. I'm not a person who is completely into the firewall side of it. Okay, so it will be wrong if I answer it. That is why I would prefer to keep it aside, saying that on the layers part. Maybe if you ask me, this is what you want, these are the rules which you want, this is what you want to block, this is what you want to allow, this is the application which that I know. But a person who is completely into the security side of it should be able to answer that. But even though firewall is a part of the network, but I'm not an expert in it. I just wanted to mention that.
No problem, no problem. So, one more question from one of other people. So, why is Snapdragon forcing 5G mobile brands before the evolution of 5G? There are already the hardwares out for 5G in terms of phones, in terms of tablets. OnePlus has already released their premium product which supports 5G. So, um, why is some
Okay, so
companies?
why? Yeah, tell me that question.
Why
So,
is
if you ask me that why not 5G, I do not find another reason why not 5G, because that is the future. That is the future when it comes to the mobile network. So I actually am surprised with that question on why not 5G on that one. If whoever has asked that question can tell me about it, I'm ready to have a discussion with them.
great? He'll definitely connect you. I'll ask him to connect you with them. Definitely.
Sure, definitely, definitely. Yeah.
Uh, what do you think the next biggest innovation with respect to networks?
Hmm. It's a great question. Actually, I haven't. See, we all are going towards the IoT or automation of things. I mean, we are all going towards the automation. So I'm thinking the biggest one the next time is, rather than sitting and configuring something, everything will be like every product will be just a plug and play. Every product. Right. So nowadays, even nowadays, there are so many things, so many of the products in the network where you have to go and configure it, right? Even in the SD-WAN, you just have to do a configuration. I'm thinking that the next big thing will be a plug and play. Okay, buy it, just fix it, and you're sorted out.
So,
I think. I
what
mean, this is my thought process because everybody is going towards that because everything is on the automation side. Yeah.
the plug and play actually helps. There are a number of innovations that are planning, which I will be not surprised if something comes up at the very early stage. So, what are all the certifications that has to be taken, and who does, what are all the certifications that are available with respect to, and why should they take it?
Okay. So, did you ask? Sorry. Did you ask that what all are the certifications in networking as such?
Yeah, networking. There are plenty of it, and I know you are a certified
Plenty
CISCO.
of it. Plenty of it. I 100% agree to you. Yeah, there are
But
plenty of it.
most of the people are starting with CCNA, and will that actually help? So that is what the question is.
Yeah, so most of the people actually start with CCNA, and before joining this call, I was talking to you and I was informing you, right? Even in CCNA, if you consider when I took my CCNA in 2005, I guess, yeah, 2005, there were only four different technologies on which you could take CCNA. Now, when somebody comes and tells me about, there are so many other options as well in CCNA itself. If you go and check it out in the Cisco portal, you will come to know about what all are the different technologies on which you can take the basic level. It is the basic Cisco certification. And since I'm with Cisco, I think I would like to talk more on the Cisco products or Cisco certifications, because that itself has got huge. Like if you in CCNA itself, next is a professional CCNP, and then you have IE. I'm a CCIE certified person, and then you even if you go above that, you have something called as if you want to go on the design side of the network, you have design experts, design professional, that you call a CCTP, CCTE, etc. And the last one which comes up is the Cisco certified architect. That is also there, where he or she knows everything related to the Cisco side. But that is on the Cisco. But as and when there are so many other networking products, right? So for each and every product, it depends on which one are you working on. So each and every product, there is a certification involved. But for everybody who is a beginner, I would definitely say, irrespective of other products in the market, please go and study CCNA to know and take that certification. Because and that's another thing which I want to talk about. I see so many of them coming up to me. They don't have experience, but they have joined few of the courses, and they have done the CCI, which is like internet expert. If you ask them few questions, they are not aware about what is actually happening in the actual network. And the reason being because they have been taught few things and they just know how to think about it. So I always advise people, please do not go for the CCI directly just by mugging up. Work for some time, understand the network, know what all are the technologies, then you go for it. That makes sense. Then you actually, rather than just applying or thinking about what you learned, you will actually understand what that CCI is all about. So like that, I'm sure there are so many other expert level programs or certifications, like in Juniper, or even on the firewall side of things. And if it is on the load balancer FI, don't just go for it directly. Work on it for some time, take the basic certification, work on it for some time, and when you're ready for the next level, then only go for it.
That will be pretty much helpful for people who want to.
Yeah, because I see so many of them come saying that I'm a CCI, but if you ask them, they are not aware about the technologies. And I'm not blaming them, because when you go to any of the training centers, go for the training. But once you know what is there in the network, please go for the training.
True. So, what are all the career opportunities with respect to the networking?
Okay, so the career opportunities, I would say that see, networking. When it comes to networking, it is mostly about you start as an engineer in the beginning, right? So definitely you will be starting as an engineer, and then you move on to become. First will be usually whatever you get in the beginning is like a support of a tier 1 engineer. That is how it starts. So, and I would say that start with it. Understand that is the basic thing to start. Also, understand what all are the what all are the technology is present in the network and how does it work. And then you can go towards, you can select it upon however you need it, like any other field in IT, where after some time people will be thinking, should I go in the technical side of things or should I go on the people management side of it. But even if you're going on the technical side of it, there are so many opportunities here in networking itself, where you want to go towards the a design, you want to design and implement it, or you want to be a solution architect. So if you, and I know so many people in Cisco, trust me, there are 20 years, they are still so happy doing the technology. Even though the next day or maybe the next week, there'll be some new technology which is coming up in networking, and you have to learn it, but they're happy doing it. So there will be, like any other IT field, even in networking, you have everything starting from first tier one engineer, go to tier two, tier threes, then you can design, you can be technical manager also, where you have people management as well as on the technology side of things. There are pre-sales, even sales, everything is there like any other company in networking as well. It's nothing different, it is just that they just work on the to connect things, that's it.
Okay, thanks. So, if
Yeah.
viewers, if you're looking for a career in computer networks, do visit tildahat.com. It's tildehat.com, and search for the plenty of active jobs in computer networks and all other related areas. The jobs are updated on nightly basis. So it's time to announce the winners. So Archana, what are the questions that left you mind blowing?
Okay, so I wanted to the first question, which I would say that the most liked one is about the 5G, which they asked if it will be very customer based or the enterprise based. And the reason that the reason why I was like, why even think about something other than the customer, because this is the age of customer. And if I have to choose among two, there is another one which actually made me think, that is on what is the next networking technology. Somebody who has asked it, and I would like to talk to that person, what are their thoughts on what is the next this one on technology, networking technology.
So the question about the big innovation was Varun, and the question is Hemanta.
Varun, okay. Okay,
Varun
so I
Malhotra.
think, as I said, yeah, that made me think. Varun's question made me think. So yeah, I like that question.
So Hemanta and Varun Malhotra are the two winners for this particular week. Our team will get back to you in another 30 minutes explaining how to avail this project. So by this, we come to the end of this particular episode. Thank you so much, Archana, for joining us. And I found this very insightful, and hopefully, I'm expecting all the viewers found this very insightful too. So thank you once again. So endings are
Thanks, Pranav.
yeah. So
Yeah.
ending an
So
online meeting is a tricky thing. So you can, with your thank you note, you can add an online message for all the viewers. Once you're done, I'll end the podcast.
okay, so actually, thank you for everyone who is listening to me, and you can search for me in LinkedIn if you want to talk more about anything. And I see that one of the person has asked about on which project Cisco is majorly working. I wouldn't say that there is. Actually, there is a lot of effort which has been put on few of the projects which Cisco is coming up with, and it will be too early for me to discuss about it, even though I am aware of few. I'm not saying this just to skip that question, but it will be too early. But as and when it gets finalized, you can log into the cisco.com page and search for it. You will be able to find the answers over there. And thanks to everyone who have been listening to it. As I mentioned, please reach me out on my LinkedIn if you want to connect. Happy to answer any of your questions beyond this.
Thank you everyone once again. So next week we'll be having Mr. Hitendra Patel with me in the topic of big data engineering. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pranav. It was